Good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are, if you are on the East or on the West Coast. Thank you for joining us today and to attend our webinar, Adventure Awaits, Dive the Mediterranean Jewel, Malta. My name is Ana Kammerer. I work with Emerging Destinations, and today we will have joining us Claudia Cassar, director at MiMalta DMC, who will be presenting amazing diving adventures in the beautiful island of Malta. But before passing everything over to Malta, just a brief overview of emerging destinations, as well as some housekeeping notes to go over this webinar. In case this is your first time joining an Emerging Destinations webinar, or you are not familiar with our company, Emerging Destinations is a boutique sales and marketing representation company in the US and Canada. We represent different hotels, lodges, DMCs, and a few destinations across Europe, Africa, and Central and South America. We represent all them in US and Canada. As you can see on your screen now, those are the clients that we have in the portfolio. And you can see also my contact information at the bottom of the screen. So in case you need any digital material, or you have any booking requests, or maybe you want to schedule a private training session for you and or your team regarding the Emerging Destination portfolio, or a specific company or destination we have with us, please feel free to drop me a line at ana@emergingdestinations.com, and we will be happy to schedule that for you. Just the latest news in our portfolio, we have joined our portfolio recently, the Anantara, Stanley and Livingston Hotel in Zimbabwe. So please stay tuned, as we will be conducting our first introductory webinar of this beautiful 16 suites property in Zimbabwe in the coming month. A few housekeeping notes to go over this webinar. The webinar is being recorded, so if you need to step away, answer the phone, or maybe go for lunch or a cup of coffee, don't worry. We are recording this webinar, and we will be sending you before the end of the week this recording, so you will be able to watch it again, or maybe share with your team if you feel doing so. Also, this webinar recording will be uploaded in our YouTube channel, where we are uploading on a regular basis all of our webinars, and they are like divided in different folders depending on the continent. So you can find webinars for the Africa continent, for the Americas continent, and for the Europe continent. Also, all attendees are mute. So it will be just Claudia and me speaking to you today, but please feel free to write any questions or doubts that you may have on the control panel on your right. At the end of the presentation, Claudia will be answering your questions, and we will make sure to include the Q&A also on the follow-up email that we will be sending you later this week. Okay, so this is all on my side. As I was mentioning before, our host today is Claudia Cassar. She is director at MiMalta DMC, a beautiful island in the Mediterranean that I will be honored to visit in March. So please stay tuned for my webinar about my experience, maybe in April or May. Okay, so over to you, Claudia.
Hello, hi everyone. So really nice being here with you today. Thank you for this opportunity. It's 9 p.m. here, Malta time, and we're here to introduce to you Malta. So The destination, just a little intro about the destination. It's not a lot of people know about Malta. It's a very old destination, up to 7,000 years of history. And we've been operating our company successfully for the past 19 years. We're a team of 14 people.
Sorry to interrupt you, Claudia.
Yes.
We can't see your screen still. We are seeing your, now it is. Yes, thank you.
Okay, so it may be a little slow then, because I can see it here. I'm sorry about this if it's a little bit slow. I would say, why Malta? Malta has 7,000 years of history. It's an island in the Mediterranean, and it's really nice for those that haven't visited most of the European destinations like Rome, Barcelona, all the top destinations, and they're looking for something unique. Malta comes in as a really good combo. We're very well connected. We're just 3 hours away from London. Frankfurt, we're just under 3 hours too. Rome, which is 1 hour away. Barcelona, which is 2.5 hours away. Paris as well, same distance. And could also be a really good combo with Sicily, because we're literally 25 minutes away, flying distance from Sicily. Climate is good climate throughout the year, hence why we're introducing diving to you today. And we're on sea and time. The island, to get into the island, you would need a passport. And we have one major airport, which is the Malta International Airport, which is extremely well serviced with flights throughout the year, which makes Malta accessible and an all year round destination. When it comes to accommodation, you have a whole range of accommodation. You have all the top 5-star properties here, chains, the big chains like Westin, the Hilton, the Intercontinental. But then you also have these really sweet boutique palazzos, which are mainly around the capital city, all nicely restored and offer top-notch service. Transfers, being an island, we use a lot of boats, but we also use some of our classic collections, like you have a nice dinner, special evening. We can use our classic cars. We can use for smaller groups of like 10 people or even less, our vintage buses, which used to be Malta's transportation system just up to a few years ago. It's a whole mix. We say we have an identity crisis because the island has gone from the times of the Phoenicians, of the Normans, of the Arabs, of the Romans, and then the Arabs were in Malta. After that, the Knights of St. John came to Malta way back in the 1530s and left a lot of heritage behind, which we get to enjoy up to today. The island, because of this amount of history, it's also very popular within the filming industry. Games of Thrones was filmed here, Count of Monte Cristo. We just had Gladiator being filmed here again. And all these sites are accessible and for people to see and to enjoy. Our highlight is definitely Valletta, which was Malta's capital city of culture in 2018. Valletta is beautiful. It's an open air museum. It's a city which was built by the Knights of St. John, and there's a lot of heritage to it. You have old palazzos wherever you look, beautiful churches, and the top is St. John's Co-Cathedral, which is full of Baroque architecture, and it also hosts the famous Caravaggio paintings. And after that, we also have Indina, which is our silent city. This was our Malta's first city before Valletta was built, and it goes back to the 8th century. It's a medieval town, and all of these places I'm mentioning, they're all very accessible and very easy to get to. I would say the average distance travel time in Malta is around 30 minutes. It's around 30 minutes to get from the airport to the hotels. It's 30 minutes if you have to move from one village or one city to the other. So it's all very easy. That makes it very easy for people to commute and to experience the destination. the south of Malta, which is also very popular, and it's way more remote. And we're here today to introduce to you diving. We're proud to announce that Malta just won a diving award, just actually yesterday, and it's one of the top diving destinations in Europe. That is what has been attracting so many divers throughout the year. What makes it so favorable is definitely, and this is across the board, is safety. It's a very safe destination on land and at sea as well. Favorable weather throughout the year. So we have diving schools which operate throughout the year, starting from December all the way till from January all the way to December. But the best months to dive are definitely between March all the way to November, because the water is nice. You can still get really nice days, and practically is an all year round destination. It's easy to get certifications. We have very professional dive centers, and anyone from 10 years older can get certification. And it's very popular as well for the shore dives and the bow dives. I mean, for such a small destination between Malta, Rozzo, and Comino, we cover up to 30 dive sites, which means that if you want to have a holiday, which is like 7 days of diving, being shore dives, wreck dives between Malta and Gozo, you can have a fun-fulfilled program with diving in the morning and discovering the historical beauty of Malta in the afternoon. And here are some of the dive sites. They're for beginners, but also for more advanced sites, some of them. Some were also projects launched by the Malta Tourism Authority to enhance and promote the scuba diving in Malta. And that is nice because of the marine life. And what makes it so special as well is the visibility you get around these wrecks. And last week, actually, I got to interview Mark, who is from a professional diving school in Malta. And Mark has been diving throughout the years around the Maltese Islands. And he will tell us a bit about Malta, what is diving like in Malta, and how we can assist with any questions you may have as well. Anna, can you play the video, please?
Of course. Thank you, Claudia. And let's see the video.
Hello everyone, we're here today in Zurich. This is one of Malta's iconic dive sites. This also gives you an idea of what weather in Malta in January feels like. We are here today to meet Mark from Best Diving, who will give us a little intro of why Malta has been attracting so many visitors throughout the year.
Thank you very much, Claudia. Malta is one of the jewels of the Mediterranean. We boast very good underwater visibility, ranging from 60 feet on a normal day up to 120 feet on a good day. Whether you're a non-certified diver, a novice diver, or an experienced diver, we have dive sites catering for all levels, with the main attraction being the shipwrecks, going from World War II wrecks to recently scuttled wrecks at all depths, for beginners at 60 feet and for more experienced divers 100 feet or deeper. Most of the dives in Malta are accessible from shore, which makes it very easy to access on any day of the year. Since we're 3 islands, whichever way the wind is blowing, we can always find a sheltered side on all the 3 islands. Best time to visit Malta for diving would be from April. That would be the slightly colder months, and the diving season goes all the way to November, which would still be pretty warm. All dive centers in Malta provide highly well-maintained scuba diving equipment for rental purposes. Between us, the dive centers, we also have an association to make sure that all the safety standards are adhered to, because we want everyone to have a safe diving experience in our waters. And we look forward to have you joining us for some underwater experiences together.
Thank you, Claudia, for that interview. And now we will be answering any questions that our attendees may have regarding your presentation and Mark's presentation as well. So please feel free, for our travel advisors attending the webinar, please feel free to type your questions on the control panel on your right, and Claudia will be answering those. So the first question we have from Dina Chandler. I'm a certified diver. Is equipment included or best for clients to bring their own? Claudia, are you there?
Hello, you're hearing me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you. Not sure if you heard the question.
Sorry. Yes, equipment is included, so you don't need to worry about it. And it's all very well serviced, and health and safety is very well taken care of around the island.
Awesome, thank you. Then we have another question from Richard. Is there any hyperbolic chamber on Malta for emergencies?
You mean, sorry,
hyperbolic chamber. Sorry, my ignorance, Richard, but I don't know.
Yes,
that means
chamber. Yes. Yes, definitely. There is. It's at the Malta. It's at the main hospital, Mater Dei Hospital. And again, the hospital is not far away, because when you think about it, the destinations are very short. So literally within 30 to 45 minutes, you get to the hospital in whichever dive site you are around the island. So yes, and there is a chamber, correct.
Okay, thank you. And then the other question we have, is nitrox available on Malta?
Yes, as well.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for that. And yes, Richard was explaining us that the hyperbolic chamber is for decompression sickness. Okay, thank you for that, Richard.
That's
I learned something new today.
Yes.
As you can
What
see, I'm not a diver at all.
What they take. It's also what is very important is that you need to leave at least 24 hours for your dive to be able to fly, so because of the compression.
Okay. So on a typical itinerary that you work as a DMC, basically, if you have someone that doing diving, you will be offering like an activity or something on the last day before flying them back home. So you will not be offering diving on the last day.
Exactly.
Awesome.
We would stop the diving packages at least 2 hours.
Can you say that again?
I said we would stop the diving at least 24 hours before the flight.
Awesome. Thank you. Then we have another question from Ines. Do you have Spanish-speaking guides as a DMC? Can you offer like guides in Spanish? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And is there any other like language?
Spanish, Italian, English, German. So there's quite across the board. Yes.
Awesome. Good to know that. Another question from Pascal. How many days is a typical itinerary in Malta in general?
In general, I would say 7 days would be a nice itinerary.
Okay. And how many
Because
dives
you can fit in
can be combined?
I would say 5 days of diving. You can even have up to 7 days of diving. So there are lots of diving sites. There are around 30 diving sites that we can visit. So for those divers that have a certificate, can actually, you know, dive a lot for such a small island.
Okay, and let's say that they want to combine diving plus really some other experiences and activities in Malta and really get to know very well Malta. In that case, how many days would you recommend if they are doing 5 days diving? Or maybe are you doing diving in the morning and you leave the afternoon for other activities? How do you suggest doing that?
Exactly. We would start with pickup from the hotel at around 7:30. So by 8:39, they're at the actual dive site. And normally it finishes after 2 or 3 dives. Normally it's around, we would be ready by around 1:30. So then we can have transfer straight to the hotel and we can start with afternoon tours. You have most of the historical sites that stay open till around 4 or 5. So we will manage to go in if we leave the dive sites at around 1:30.
Okay, thank you. And I heard from Mark's presentation that most of the diving can be accessed from land. Let's say that someone is interested in doing a live aboard experience. Do you offer that as well?
Live aboard, there are some options, yes. There are some options. Not a lot though, because the thing how it works that all the dive sites are very close to the shore. So even those not which are shore dives, it's very easy to get to. So that's why we don't have a lot of live aboard here. But there are some boats that offer it, yes.
Okay, and you work with them. If someone is really very interested in that, you can offer that.
Yes, we can organize it. We can organize it definitely with professional divers on board, obviously.
Thank you. Then we have another question from Elizabeth. Is English widely spoken? Is Malta Scenic multilingual?
Yes, so Malta was a British colony for over 300 years. So everyone here speaks English. We have our language, which is Maltese, which only 600,000 inhabitants talk that. But yes, we have our second language, if not main language, also is English.
Awesome. How many wreck sites are there? And did you mention that there are 32 dive sites? Is that correct?
Around 30 dive sites, yes. Wreck dives, if I remember well, but I need to check exactly this. It's around 15.
Okay. Okay, thank you. And as a DMC,
but
do you
get
work?
The exact answer for you.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, that would be awesome. The last question I have for you, as a DMC, do you work with net or commissionable rates or both?
Both.
Both. So it all depends on what the travel advisors need.
Exactly, exactly. We do both because some would want net, some would want commissionable. So it would be good to know before how you to quote, but it's doable. Both are doable.
Awesome, thank you. And then the last one, let's say that someone doesn't want to do Malta as a standalone destination. What is the best combination that you would suggest? To do Malta, I assume with Italy, with Sicily maybe?
Sicily, yes, definitely. Sicily is a great combo. but it could be Rome, another combo, you know. But Sicily is only 25 minutes flying distance away from Malta, or there is a daily ferry, and the ferry is just an hour and a half, which takes you to the furthest south point of Sicily, and then you can travel from there. And both the flights and the ferries are daily.
Okay. Okay. Can you take care of the flights or the ferry tickets as well as a DMC?
We normally, who asks us for ferry tickets, yes, it's something easy for us to look into, more than the flights. But the ferry, it's definitely something we can look into.
Awesome, thank you. And then this is really the last question we have on the control panel. Is Malta a good destination for solo female travelers? Is it safe?
It is very safe, yes. Very safe, very easy to find your way around. Everyone speaks English, and it's easy to move around even at nighttime. You know, obviously you have certain areas like anywhere else, but we don't have, when compared to the rest of Europe, it's very safe, I would say.
Awesome, thank you. So, well, I think that you answered all the questions that we got on the control panel from our travel advisors connected today. Remember, for all of our travel professionals, that we will be sending you before the end of the week a follow-up email, which will include some photos, a presentation from Malta, MiMalta DMC, and this recording. And also we will be uploading the playback on our YouTube channel. Okay. So, and I got another question while I was speaking. Can you provide a sample itinerary when on the follow-up email? Can we include that, Claudia? Maybe two, I would say maybe two sample itineraries, one like regular one and another one focused on diving. Can we do that?
Sure, we can do that as well. And I can also mention some of the wreck dives and some of the shore dives also, just in case you have any clients requesting more information. And we'll be happy to elaborate even further, you know, if you have more detailed requests.
Awesome, awesome. So we will include on the follow-up email 2 sample itineraries. But remember that MiMalta DMC, they can tailor-made and customize everything, so they will work on each request very detailed, so they can adapt to what your clients may need. Okay, but we can of course give you some ideas with those sample itineraries. So this was that was it. We don't have more questions. So on emerging destinations side, thank you so much for attending today's webinar, exploring diving the Mediterranean jewel Malta. We will be sending you the recording and much more information by the end of the week, so please check your inbox and also check your spam folder, because sometimes we go to your spam folder, so please check those. And that's all on my side. Over to you, Claudia, if you want to wrap up and say goodbye to everybody. The few last minutes are for you.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry that the presentation from my end was a little bit slow, I think, when I was moving around the slides, but it's been a pleasure. Coincidentally, we were working on this webinar and Malta won another diving award, which was today on the Times of Malta. So feel free proposing Malta to your clients, especially if they're into diving. But it's not just diving, you know, there's a huge amount of history. So they will have a really nice, fun-packed program. And there's the gastronomic element of the island, which is really nice and really good, very Mediterranean cuisine. And the wine history, the beer, you know, so there's a lot that we can throw in, the pottery, you know, there's a lot that we can throw into a program. So just feel free, let us know, you know, if you have any requests, and we'll be happy to service them.
Thank you. Have a great afternoon.